The Honourable Simon Bridges.
We've heard Dr Seuss quoted with great effect from Honourable Anne Tolley and from David Shearer talking green eggs and ham. Well, I've got a quote here from Dr Seuss. We are all a little weird and life's a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall in mutual weirdness and call it love. Who would have thought, Mr Speaker, that Dr Seuss had prophesied the current New Zealand Labour Party so successfully? But Mr Speaker, I know the Labour Party is currently a little preoccupied. We've got Trevor Mallard over there and Andrew Little clearly preoccupied, wondering how they'll pay for it, Mr Speaker. We've got Grant Robertson and David Parker clearly preoccupied, both thinking about the 25 reasons why they would be better than David Shearer. We've got the opposition over here who are also thinking exactly the same thing Grant Robertson's thinking. I would be so much better than David Shearer. But ladies and gentlemen, well, it's an apprenticeship. It's an apprenticeship. But Mr Speaker, I want to speak about public services, ladies and gentlemen. I want to speak about public services, and I want to talk about what we've said for many, many times on this side of this House, the global financial crisis, and how since that there's no lolly scramble, Mr Speaker. There's no lolly scramble today. It's a lesson, however, that Labour and the Greens haven't picked up on. And, Mr Speaker, Labour and the Greens, of course, still have this old-fashioned view that in 2000s we've got a spend-a-thon going on. Well, telethons died long ago, and so did spend-a-thons, Grant Robertson. And actually on this side of the House, we know we can't do that. When it comes to public spending, we can't just keep on going and going, billions of additional money extra each and every year. From 2000 to 2008, we saw that happen, and it proved that more money does not equal more and better public services. And one of, I think, Mr Speaker, the great lessons I've seen since National has been in government has been that leadership, both political and organisational in public services, really matters and can really make a difference. And it's not about, as I've said, spending. It's often about focus, prioritisation. Well, it's a long way. It's a long way off, Grant. Yours isn't. Yours isn't, buddy.
Order.
Mr Speaker,
the Speaker shouldn't be included in the debate.
But better public services can be achieved from focus, prioritisation and targets. And we've got some ambitious public targets that have been made by the Prime Minister very recently. And look, they won't be easy to achieve, but we're working very hard on them. I'm going to talk about specific areas. We'll hear very soon from Paul Hutchison, Dr Hutchison, on health and the better public services we are providing there, from Nikki Kay in education. But I do know, actually, and I've seen it in my own constituency with elective services, that the focus and leadership provided by Tony Ryle there has, without necessarily a whole lot more money, resulted in better results. And I know in my time, short time as a Member of Parliament, whilst at the start of my time there were many people coming to see me about health issues and complaints and delays, they simply aren't coming anymore. And Mr Speaker, another lesson that I think is very important to learn when it comes to better public services can be seen very well, I think, in some of the portfolios that I'm involved with. And that's this lesson. Not all regulation, of course, is bad. Some is very good, and it works particularly well where we are working with industry. We are listening to them, we let them actually tell us what they think is needed, and we work to reduce unnecessary costs and compliance. And we didn't see that under Labour from 2000 to 2008. but we're seeing it very much now in my area. In transport, we've seen that particularly well.
Dr. Kennedy Graham.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.